What is going on, guys? It is Parker here, and today we finally have the much anticipated comparison of the Sundown Audio SA version 1 Rev 3, and over here we have the Skar Audio DDX. Yeah, guys, we're going to be looking at both these subs, looking at all these specs, and then seeing how they compare in the box. Let's get to it. Alright guys, first off we're just going to take a quick look at both of these. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit, it's pretty chilly out here today. But yeah, here they are. You can see they look pretty dang identical for the most part. Let's just get a quick look up over here. So yeah, let's get right into this. So first off, I went down and wrote down all the specs of both of these. So of course, to start out with, the SA is 750 watts RMS, whereas the DDX is rated at 1,000 watts RMS. Now, they both have 2.5-inch coils. In my opinion, they probably are both close to the same RMS rating. I think Skar just put the 1,000 there to kind of beat out Sundown, just to make theirs look better. So, which I think is kind of dumb in my opinion, but yeah, I don't really think there is a big power rating difference between these two subs. Now, further down here, they both have 2.5-inch voice coils. Now, the Skar has, I don't know if you can see it, the Skar has the copper voice coil, and this Sundown has the copper voice coil as well. Because if you see in one of my older videos, I reconed it with a Sundown recone. Now that being said, I do believe either all of some of the version 3s have aluminum voice coils with the black paint on it. I'm not exactly 100% sure. Either way, pretty similar. Again, this copper voice coil did just fine, didn't really have any issues with it for either of them. So yeah, wasn't an issue, but just something to note. Then, of course, they both have cast aluminum baskets. Now, this has a 202-ounce motor, whereas I could not find the motor volume for the Sundown. That being said, I weighed both of them, just the full sub itself, and the Sundown comes in at right about 25 pounds, whereas the Skar is about 30 pounds. And you really can feel it if you pick both of them up. And if you really look here, it may not really show on video really well, but there definitely is a motor difference in the size. The Skar definitely does have a bigger motor, so I will say the Skar does win as far as the motor is concerned. Next up, we have X-Max. Now, where the Sundown shines is it has 19 millimeters of X-Max, and that is just one way moving up, whereas the Skar only has 15 millimeters, and you'll see in the videos it really is noticeable how much more X-Max this thing has. 19 millimeters isn't really that bad, but I do think it could be more. What really restricts it is this basket. If I had the power too much, it would bottom it out. So, yeah. But Sundown wins as far as X-Max. As far as the FS, depending on if it was a dual 2 ohm or 4 ohm, they both had right about 34 hertz. And then for the frequency response, the Sundown was rated 20 to 200, whereas the DDX is rated 225 to 250 hertz. Now, that being said, at the lower notes, in my opinion, I did feel like the DDX did sound a little bit better. And then for the dB, the SA is 84.2 dB, and the DDX was 88 dB. So, yeah, that is all the specs, but let's really get a closer look up at the subwoofers themselves, thus the build quality and what they have going on. Okay, starting at the top here, both have very similar dust caps. The Skar one does stick up a little bit more than the Sundown, but overall, dust caps very comparable. They both have very similar feeling paper cones. Very similar there. The first real difference, I guess you could say, is the surround. So this has a little bit more of a high roll surround, and it's a little skinnier, so it allows for a little bit more cone area. Whereas this one has a little bit fatter of a surround. Just a little bit difference there. I do think that helped this guy get a little bit, just sound better, a little bit lower. Whereas I did notice this guy over here did seem to get a little bit louder. So there's that. They both have very similar gaskets. Moving on down, the other really big difference were the tinsel leads. This just has these single, really big fat tinsel leads. These things are really awesome, guys. Don't see those being an issue whatsoever. And then over here, the Skar has the flat tinsel leads as well, but it's got two of them, which is really awesome, but they're a lot thinner ones. So, again, a difference there, but I don't think one's got any better performance over the other. They both seem really awesome. I really love flat tinsel leads, and they both seem great. You know, you just got the one bigger one here, or the two smaller ones there. Either way, doesn't really matter. And then, moving on down, we have the terminals. Both, again, really similar. It does look like these are a tad bit bigger than the inputs for those, but overall, both feel like just decent terminals. And then down here, the only difference in the basket is that it is solid right through here on the SA, whereas the DDX has little holes for cooling. That might help out a little bit, but I don't see it helping out a ton. And then we have this spacer plate. This one just happens to stick out a little wider, whereas this one is flush, and it says Sundown on it. But again, not a important difference there. They both look like they get the exact same job done. So next, we have the motor. Again, you probably won't be able to really tell in the video, but the Skar motor is a good deal bigger. The Skar definitely does win as far as the motor is concerned. Just a bigger, beefier motor. But they both have really similar venting along the bottom, so no real big differences there. Alright guys, so we have the Sundown on this scale. Now this is not the most scientific thing ever, but you can see we're right at about 26, maybe almost 27 pounds with this guy. Whereas with the DDX, we are sitting right at about 30 pounds. So, yep, definitely is a little bit of a weight difference. And you can tell it when you're picking them up, but it's nothing really major. Alright guys, well there you all go. Thank y'all so much for watching. Please let me know in the description which one you think is better. Now, for my personal opinion, if money was not an option here, I would go with the Sundown. To me personally, it just seemed to be a little bit better overall. It did get a little bit louder, and I really like it. It has some more X-Max. So, again, that would be my personal opinion if I had the money, if money was not an option. Now, that being said, for me, money is always an option. I'm always trying to get what fits in the budget the best. So, for me personally, since money is an option, this guy over here being at 160 bucks, as opposed to the SA now being at around 100, 220, 230 bucks, I would have to pick the DDX. You're not getting a $70 benefit by getting the Sundown. You're just really not. In my opinion, for 160 bucks, guys, this sub is really pretty good. I've loved it. It does really well. It sounds good, and it's a pretty tough sub. Yeah, the teeny bit of benefit I would get by getting the Sundown, just to me, isn't worth it. Now, if you want the Sundown just because it says Sundown on it, then, you know, go for it. It's not a bad deal. It's not a bad sub. And again, it would be the one I would pick if money was no option. But, again, money's always an option to me, so always going to be getting, for me personally, what gets the most bang for the buck. So, yeah, guys, that is what I think. Please let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know which one you would pick and why. I would love to hear and read. I do try to read through all the comments and reply to them as much as possible. Also, I will be leaving links to both of these subs in the description below. Those are affiliate links, so they help out me if you purchase them through those links. So that would be awesome. The more money I make on here on YouTube, the more I can go spend on other stuff. Speaking of that, we have the American Base XR coming in. Bunches of people have been asking me to get that, so put that on order last night, so it should be here in a few days. We'll try to get that out to y'all as soon as possible. Anyway, yeah guys, y'all are awesome. I really appreciate y'all watching so much. It means the world to me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos.